Hey everybody, so if you saw one of my recent videos, you might recognize this drum. And if not, I will catch you up real quick. I got this particular drum from Goodwill, and I got it for a pretty good price. And the thing is, I'm not exactly sure where it fits in the Ludwig drum family, but it looked interesting. It's chrome over wood and 5x14, 8 lugs. It's got, looks like the original heads and blue and olive USA Ludwig badge. It's got standard Ludwig standard lugs and not bow tie lugs, and P85 throw off, and yeah, it's got original heads. You can see the snare side head, and the original snares, and then original batter. It's got a Ludwig rockers heads on them, and of course, just because it's got rockers heads doesn't mean it's a rockers model drum, because they were using the rockers branded heads for a while there, so that's where it kind of gets confusing a little bit. And look, I mean, maybe it's just a student model drum. I don't think it's a rockers model. I mean, I don't know. I've seen rockers with the standard lugs, and I've seen them with bow tie lugs. I've seen them with blue olive badges. I've seen them with black and white badges. But this one did come with a UFO case and a practice pad. So maybe it was just a student package, and it's just as simple as that. Or could it be something in between, the Ludwig standard and the rockers lines back in the day? I don't know. But it looked interesting to me, so I figured I would at least, check it out and see what I could do with it. So it's got a maple shell, and like I said, I just got it off Goodwill. It looked interesting to me, and I just wanted to see what I could really do with it. So anyway, I've got all my gear over here, and so I'm going to take the drum and strip it down, taking it all apart, taking it, making it shiny, changing out the heads, the batter, and also the resonant head. And the heads are actually in pretty good shape for their age. I mean, but I think this drum is from like the late 70s or early 80s. So even though the heads are in good shape, they are several decades old. So the heads will need to go along with the snares as well. I'll change those out. And I'll take the tension rods off, clean the hoops and the shell, and get it up and running. And, let's maybe see what we can do with it. But should be fun. And I'm looking forward to just shining this guy right up. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take the top head off, the batter head off. I'm going to use this cool Ludwig branded key that actually came with this drum. It did come with a UFO case and one of those old school rubber practice pads that you put on over. Didn't come with the snare stand, but came pretty complete, and like I said, with this Ludwig key too. So I'm going to use the key to get these off. Wow, these tension rods are tight and kind of stiff there. Holy smokes, this one is too. They are. Wow. So when I do get the tension rods cleaned up, and I will be, holy smokes, adding some white lithium grease to lube them up, get them looking good. These tension rods have not been touched in what? I don't know, 40 years or something. Pretty wild. Okay, wow, they're not even finger loose yet. Here, let me just give these a quick once over. Okay, so all the tension rods are loose. We're going to be taking the top hoop off. Over here I've got my my bucket waiting. I'm going to be throwing all of the washers and tension rods in here. I'm going to put them in a nice bath. Okay, so if we look at the hoop, I mean, honestly, it's not in horrible shape for a drum that, that, let's face it, was a student model, you know, and probably got banged around a lot, or at least you would think, but this is this hoop's in pretty good shape, so I'm just going to set that aside. Take a look at this head. I don't ordinarily like really examine, you know, the heads on drums when I replace them, but this one's a little bit different. I mean, I don't usually pick something up that's got like the original head on it, so I don't know. I like thinking about that stuff. This thing's been sitting on here for 40 something years. Pretty crazy. Got a little funky stuff in there, but anyway, we're going to be tossing that aside. Take a look at the shell here. So like I said, maple shell, interesting little remnant there from when it was made. Not the cleanest job in the world. We've got a stamp here. I don't know if that's 988 or 886. Depends on how you look at it, I suppose. But yeah, so it looks like maple shell. I mean, the edges are not bad on this thing. You can see the edge with the wrap. Looks like a pretty clean job. You know, this was USA made. Well, that's interesting. It looks like there's a mark here, and coincidentally, or perhaps not coincidentally, that's where the seam of the wrap is too. So I like checking out just little details like that on these old drums. Let's see. I mean, it's pretty flat. It's good. The edges look pretty good on this thing. Very pleasantly surprised. Okay, so let's get the strings off. Let's get the snare wires off. This is obviously the pretty basic Ludwig butt plate from the era. From many eras, actually, when you think about it. This style was used for a long, long time. As I was getting these, when I was loosening these screws for the snare wires, I was thinking about the tension rods on the batter side head and how tight they were. And pretty crazy. All right, so this is interesting. This is not, you know, this is a reasonably modern. I'm used to seeing like a lot of the 60s Ludwig drums that I work on and stuff. But this P85, you know, has the strings, but it's got this little bracket in here. Possibly could also use a strap, I think. I mean, I've never put a strap on this era P85 before, but I think when I replace the snare wires, I'm gonna try you know, one with a strap. So we'll see if that works. See about that later. But anyway, here we go. Get the snare wires off. Again, these look like, you know, the original snare wires. How many strands we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Yeah, so it's a really sort of thin, compact set of snare wires. Again, you know, typical for Ludwig snares back in the day. All right, so now let's get the okay, so now let's get the bottom head off of here. Let's see how tight these tension rods are. There's nothing compared to the top. Not only tight, but oh, actually, remember how I said how did I miss that before? I was saying how the snare size head looked pretty good, but we've actually got a nice cut right there. So this will definitely be replaced. But anyway, not that the tension rods were like that tight necessarily. It was just that they were stiff from just sitting there for all those years. Okay, all tension rods are off. Throwing them all into the tub for the bath. Hands are getting pretty dirty from this stuff. And again, this bottom hoop is in pretty good shape. I'll be able to clean that up nicely. I'll get rid of this snare side head. I still can't believe that I missed that cut when I was first looking at this. I thought I'd be able to salvage this thing, but anyway, you find all kinds of things when you start actually working on it. All right, I meant to say before, this shell is super, super light. I mean, even with the hoops off, I know the hoops are off right now, but I meant to say it before, like when I was handling this thing. It's like really super light. But anyway, looking at the bottom edge here, again, this edge is a little bit rougher than the top edge. And to be honest with you, I can't even really tell how they cut these. It seems to be more square than the top, but than the top edge was. But anyway, but all, everything, nothing's really jangling. All the hardware is on pretty tight. The original muffler obviously is still here, and that looks like it's doing well. This knob is super stiff and tight, so we'll see if it's actually moving anything when I get the heads back on. But anyway, so here we go. Oh, you know what? Here, just realized I'm looking at my supplies here. So I've got another one of the. I've got an older style P85 with the holes for the strings, and like I said, this one's a little bit more modern. So this is, this has got to be from the early 80s for sure. This one, I think this one came off my my Vistalite snare from about 76, and I upgraded the throw off on that snare to a P88 AC, a new one. So anyway, you can tell the difference. But otherwise, these throw offs have like remained the same design wise and throughout the years. I mean, just P85 was ubiquitous. It was around forever. But anyway, okay. And I think I am going to leave this on for now. I usually I've been upgrading a lot of the older Ludwig strainer throw offs that I've got. Been doing that a little bit more lately. Just upgraded a Drum Workshop Edge snare too from it was made in 2000, and upgraded that throw off to a new mag throw off, if you've seen that video. All right, so here we go. So this is it for now, and I'm going to get to the next couple of steps here. Okay, so over there I've got the tension rods sitting in their nice bath of Dawn. Just regular Dawn, dishwashing soap. If it's good enough for, getting oil and stuff like that off of ducks, it's gonna be good enough to get the 40 years of funk off of those tension rods, I'll bet. So I'm gonna let them sit in there probably overnight. In the meantime, gonna get at doing the rest of this thing. All right, I'm all gloved up and ready to go. we're going to start with these rims. I'm pretty happy with how the bottom hoop came out. You can compare this one to the top one that I haven't done yet, and I'm pretty pleased with how this one came out. So I'll tell you, and I used spray on car wash product to clean this. I haven't used any chrome or metal polish yet, and honestly, I may not have to. This, I mean, the product I use is actually really good, and this came out pretty clean, so I am happy with that. All right, so we're back to work on the shell here. Let's see how we do. I'm really happy with how this is coming so far. I just wanted to stop to show you. I don't know if you can see the grimy stuff. This is the side that I haven't touched yet compared to the side that I have touched. And I haven't even polished this up yet. But coming really, really good. So hey, this shell cleaned up super nice, like extraordinarily nice. Beyond, I mean, probably beyond my expectations. Of course, part of that is the elbow grease, but part of it's luck too, I guess, in what I got. But I'm super happy with how this shell cleaned up. Now, what it sounds like, how it sounds is something else altogether, and we'll get to that. But it looks good. A little, just a little wart there, ding. And it suffered over the years. A little smudge here, and I couldn't really get out. Scuff there, but otherwise, I'm super happy with how the shell came out. And we're gonna have the tension rods bathing overnight. Then I'll get everything back together. I'm going to change out the heads. I've got a batter head that I'm going to use. I need to go pick up a new snare side head and some snares, some snare wires, and then we'll be back in business.